not going to get easier because federal
Yeah.
legalization. It'll be like any other highly regulated industry. It'll be one more layer. But my suspicion is like anything, like even just introducing process to a company that has none. You go like this, you go way beyond where you need to be, and then you have to dial it back. And that's
Yeah.
what I suspect will happen I do believe it will happen when federal legalization happens. I'm not entirely sure. I'm somewhat optimistic, but not entirely, I guess is what I'm trying to say, that interstate commerce will come prior to federal legalization. I'm wondering how I know that California is trying to push for that. And I know that there's some lobby groups as well talking about treaties and things like that and how that will work. But that's another problem that we actually solve that is not solvable with the current reporting tools implemented today because there is no visibility across state lines.
Yeah.
And when interstate commerce happens, now you could talk about that patchwork. We like to say it's a patchwork at every level of legislation. So you've got your state, your county, your local, and then you're going to have the same thing on the other side of the
Right.
transaction. And then what happens if it's going through illegal states? So there's all these more multiple levels of regulations that you're going to have to adhere to, and that's systems have to be architected properly to be able to handle that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just thinking of that compliance framework around licensing, like as we know in California, we have a very heavy distribution model in California, but
Yes.
other states don't exactly require a distributor to be able to transfer from B to B. Who is the
Mm-hmm.
one doing the testing in the supply chain, and where and when in the supply chain is that
Mm-hmm.
testing taking place? Packaging and labeling, how is that going to be different from state to
Mm-hmm.
state? So it's like all of
Right.
these like different aspects. And you brought up a really great one, transporting in between illegal states that aren't legal yet. Like that's one I didn't even think about because I'm just watching California, Washington, and Oregon like really
Yeah.
push for this. I'm like, oh, they're all connected, it'll be fine. But like all of the Colorado, like how would we have New Mexico and Oklahoma to a certain degree on the medical side,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's just such a huge complex challenge. And I'm of the belief like yes, interstate commerce would be great for a certain time, but I feel like it's just kicking the can down the road. I feel like
Yeah.
people want to do interstate commerce because we have an oversupply problem, and so they're trying to get that supply out to help stabilize pricing. And
Mm-hmm.
if we open up interstate commerce and then cool, we got all this supply out, like prices stabilize, but then what? Do you then start producing more to keep up with like your out of state and interstate commerce? It's so interesting, and
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like I feel like it's a band aid. Let's just put it that
I
way.
think it's a band-aid, but again, I mean, federal legalization needs to happen so we can do interstate commerce just legally and not have to deal with all of that. But I do really, really look forward to that. And I do, as a also longtime wine lover, I like the idea of, I guess, the Appalachians. And I know
Of course,
I'm
yes.
a tribal, they're trying to push some stuff here in California for that. But I like that. If, I'd like to get this and I want it from grown here. And I
Yeah,
want to be able to buy it in this state, even though I don't want to have to travel there and try to get it
I
over
agree.
the